Lake Resources, American Lithium Minerals Inc. stocks update. So we'll begin with Lake Resources. Lake Resources closed the session of the 3rd of March 2021 at $0.2995. The last bid size was 2,500 shares. The last recorded ask price was 150,000 shares, if that's going to help. It has a market cap of $303.7 million, 1.014 billion shares outstanding. We don't have any figures concerning its short interest. There isn't any fresh news as such. So in the absence of any fresh news, so we'll just quickly dive in and see what we can make out of the technical analysis for Lake Resources over the last 10 to 20 days trading sessions. So Lake Resources appears to be correcting within a longer term bullish trend, although its MACD is presently below the signal line, as we can see here, below the signal line. That's this blue line, and the other one is the signal line. Shares remain 298% above an upward sloping 200-day moving average. So it says it's correcting. Let's have a quick look. Okay, yes, in relative terms, over the last 10 to 20 days, yes, it is definitely correcting. If you count back, there is a chance that the 10th day or the 20th day or some like probably 10 days higher than what it is right now. So as such, it will be correcting. It will be a correction. So we also have the 14-period slow stochastic oscillator. It is rising, so we should have a positive readout there. The momentum for Lake Resources is strongly bullish, yes, as we alluded. The 14-period slow stochastic oscillator is rising, yes, as investors pay higher prices for shares. So the last volume, that's the volume for the 3rd of March 2021, was heavier than usual, trading at 4.026 million shares versus an average of 1.457 million shares per day during the last 12 months. The unbalanced volume indicator is bullish. The slope of the indicator is positive and suggests that buyers are presently more active than sellers. Yes, the unbalanced volume indicator, okay, says it's bullish. The slope is positive and suggests that buyers are presently more active than sellers. But at some point, it was way higher than what it is right now. So we would just go ahead and look at what's going on. This is that same chart we just looked at right now. So this is a daily chart, the same thing as what we were looking at right here, but this doesn't have. This is a website, and this is an application, a charting tool, a trading tool. So it's by far more sophisticated. We can plot a few things here like Fibonacci and stuff. So we've been able to plot a Fibonacci lines on this grid, and we can determine that the 76.4 retracement level, or rather, okay, the 161 extension level will bring Lake Resources up to roughly 3. Okay, it says there's $0.37, so it's currently at 800%. So it's at the price it closed $0.3. But when it comes to retracement, 76.4 retracement level will bring it down to 0.27. 61.8 will bring it down to 0.26. 50% to 0.24. 38.2. 0.23, 23.6, 0.22, and then 0 will bring it down to 0.19. So we will leave that and see what happened just before the market closed, just a few minutes before the market closed, roughly an hour, close to an hour thereabout. So we can see that Lake Resources was just trading, yes, above all of its short-term trend lines, and indeed the 200-day, the long-term 200-day trend line, but for some reason it was trading below the intermediate 250-day trend line, but this came out of dipping down out of a pullback just a few minutes before the market closed. So it closed on a more positive note. You can see that the momentum also was high up with the stock itself. So the momentum reflected that bullishness. So this is based on the 1 minute chart type. So what we looked at previously was the daily chart to look at the Fibonacci retracements and extensions. So now let's return and see what's going on here. We can see also that it's trading above all of its short-term trend lines, all of its short-term and long-term, all of its trend lines. So, but not very far off, not at a huge premium to all of them. So if you really want to get into the stock, yes, it's moved sideways a lot of late, and has it's showing some positive signals. It's not it hasn't broken through any of those supports, any of those short-term support lines in a long time. I would say since the 18th of February. So it's showing some strength, and by some measure that can be determined that it can be determined that, given that it hasn't been able to break through those those supports, it's an indication that there is some bullish signs, some bullish signals in the stock. So there's a good chance it may continue to rise from this sort of sideways movements, and the fact that it hasn't been able to fall through those supports. So it's by some measures spotting some positive signals. So if you want to get involved, by all means get involved. It's trading at small, or rather it's quite cheap, and obviously it's in the lithium space. So just get involved if you really have to get involved, not with a lot of money, something you can't afford to lose. Okay, so this brings us on now to American Lithium Minerals, yet another lithium stock. It closed that session at $0.505. So before we go ahead, which it has it has a market cap of $34.7 million. Shares outstanding is 68.718 million shares. We don't have any short interest figures concerning it, and we can see that momentum is definitely not very good at all. Sorry, the unbalanced volume indicators doesn't look very good, but the momentum is also trying to improve, is improving. So technically, American Lithium Minerals, yes, appears to be correcting within a longer term bullish trend. Let's see. Yes, definitely easily correcting within a longer term bullish trend. So this is the longer term bullish trend. That's a 200-day trend line, and the MACD is presently below the signal line. Yes, this is the MACD and this is the signal line, but the shares remain 269.5% above that upward sloping 200-day moving average. Momentum for American Lithium Minerals is improving. Yes, as we pointed out, it's improving. Yes, you can see that has just left that oversold territory and it's looking up. The 14-period slow stochastic oscillator is rising as investors begin to purchase shares. The volume for the 3rd of March 2021 was lighter than usual, trading 134,256 shares versus an average of 346,488 shares per day during the last 12 months. The unbalanced volume indicator shows that longer term accumulations giving way to near term selling pressure. Yes, no doubt about that. We can see the unbalanced volume indicator. You can see it's almost very close to zero. At some point it was way more than 10 million. You can see 20 million. So look at that. It's right now it's pointing at 1.4 million only. So before we come back to this, what we are looking at right now is the chart. This is a daily chart, as I indicated earlier on. this is on a website. It doesn't have all the tools. We can't plot all the tools on this, so we'll just go ahead and look at the this is called the Street Edge. It's from Charles Schwab, so it's a charting tool, obviously, as we indicated. So let's look at AMLM. So this is the 1 minute chart. So let's have a look at the daily chart and see what's going on there. So this is the daily chart. We also plotted the retracements and the extensions. So we can see that it's trading just below all of its short-term trend lines, but above the intermediate and the longer term trend lines. This is the long-term trend line, currently at $0.1358. The short-term trend line, the intermediate trend line, is at 0.4670. So yes, let's have a look here and see. That's correct. Yes, it's trading in between the short term and the long. It's trading in between the short term and the intermediate and the long term. So for the short term, it's easily looking like it's trading at a discount. So when it comes to retracements and extensions, we have it that if we were to extend to the 261.8% extension levels, the price will be at 120, and at some point it had actually exceeded that, somewhere way beyond that 261.8 extension level. So it will have the 161.8 extension level, which is at $0.77, and then the 100% is where it is at right now. The 76.4% retracement level will bring it down to $0.41, just slightly below where it is. So 61.8% retracement level will bring it down to $0.35. 50% retracement level will bring it down to $0.30. 38.2% will bring it down to $0.25. 23.6% will bring it down to $0.18. So right now it's currently at $0.505, and it's in the short term, it's trading at a discount to its short-term prices, and at some point earlier on, this will be sometime in not long ago, 25th of January. Okay, not very long ago. Yes, it was at $1.4140. So if you want to look at that as a correction, if you want to look at that as a price that it will at some point also surpass, it will extend to and go beyond. If you want to look at that, and also the fact that it's trading at a discount to its short-term prices, and also the fact that it is a penny stock as well, and also the fact that it's in the lithium space. If you want to get involved because of that, or add more to what you already have, by all means do so. And indeed, always leave some cash on the table on your reserve, so that you can always add more or take action to do stuff when it gets when it pulls back. So I can imagine that some people may have opened up positions at this sort of prices, and if you did so, it's currently presenting an opportunity for you to double up or add more to it, and see how it goes. So if you're new to this channel, subscribe, like, and share. If you're already a subscriber, thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you very much.